problem to understand this
No,
one.
sir.
Now, if I want a series of this type of numbers and these are connected one by one, that means it looks like this. Actually, I don't have that tablet, so drawing will not be as good as in presence of a tablet, but still I am trying to convey the information. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, sorry, there is one real part and there is one imaginary part. So real part and imaginary part. Okay. So if it is like that, I want that this type of element should be connected. Okay. That means this should have a connection. That means from this element I can reach up to this element. From this element I can reach up to that element. So if this type of thing, if I am looking for this type of thing, then we need to use self-referential structure. Okay. So how can I do this? It contains one real part and another imaginary part. But the second one should hold, okay, the first one should hold the address of this variable. Okay, this is the complete variable. Then only from that variable you can access this one. Similarly, this one will contain the address of this one. Okay. So when it contains the address of this one, then only you can access. And the last one does not contain any address. Okay. It's a garbage type of thing. So if it is so, then from one variable to another variable we can reach sequentially. Okay. Try to understand. Okay, let us illustrate the concept. So this is the trick here. We have to write, sorry, okay. So P is a pointer to this structure. It is also the element of this structure. It, okay. So try to understand. Now when I create an instance, when I create a variable of this structure, then it will have three parts. One, two integers, real and imaginary. Another is pointer to such type of structure variable. Okay. So this type of structure is known as self-referential structure. Okay, let us start that thing. You can find any better example. I can also do this, but I think it will be much better. Uh, okay, and later this is self. Okay, there are lots of examples in it. You can also find it later. But I will demonstrate my code. Okay. So for that, in main, we need to create one variable for it. Okay. Let us name of the variable is n. Okay. So clearly, N has three parts: real, imaginary, and pointer to struct X. Any problem to understand this? Actually, it should be, it's very tricky because if you face any problem to understand, then it will be very difficult for me to continue. So please check it that when I have this structure available, so can I write in this way or what does it mean by it? You verify. Any problem? Clearly, it has actually three parts. Okay, in this way I am trying to write actually. Uh, okay, it's very small. And this is actually C. Any problem to understand this? Please check it from the concept. Please check it side by side if you face any problem to understand this. Check it.
Understood.
Understood. Okay. Because this diagram is very explanatory. If you understand, then everything you will understand. If you cannot, then you cannot everything. Cannot understand everything. So I think this variable n will have actually the variable n has these three components. This is integer, this is another integer, and this is pointed to struct x. Okay. Don't forget it is self-referential because it is pointed to same type of structure. It has the pointer to same type of structure. Okay. So now I am going to put some element in it. Okay. So how can I do this? I will ask you that, let's say the first complex number. I am going to insert the first complex number. Enter real part. If you cannot understand any part of the code, please raise question. Otherwise, I cannot understand if you are following or not. Similarly, I will accept the imaginary part from the user. It is actually complex number INA. It may be multiple component, any type of thing. Let's say it is coordinate. Coordinate has x and y components, so you can also take it from either. integer x, integer y, and something else. It may be something else. Marks of a student. Let's say the student may have uh, different subjects. So let's say you have five theory subjects, five laboratory. So five theory, five laboratory, and finally total. In this way, you can have a complicated structure. So I'm not using this because this will unnecessarily complicate the application. If you understand the simple, this is I think enough for you to apply any type of this type of problem. Actually, tackle this any type of problem. Okay, it will be easier for you. So hopefully you have understood these four lines. This is nothing new. You have used it many times in your lab, in theory class. Now, how to insert that element? Hmm. Can anybody tell me how to insert that element? How to? Okay, I should not use real. I should use something else. Otherwise, it's confusing. Let us make it A and B. Okay, A and B. Since there is also real, although these two variables are different, but since you are the beginner, so I don't like to get you people confused. So for that time I need to declare two more variables, A and B. Now tell me how to insert or how to push these data values into this structure variable n. What is the syntax? Can anybody tell me?
So n dot real is equal to real.
N dot
Real
equal to
A.
A. Okay, just wait. N dot real equal to A. Very good. Sorry, N dot real. Actually, N dot equal to B. Okay. And what happened to P? Let us make it null. Okay. So when you discuss file system, when I discuss file system, actually I mentioned that it is a point a macro. Okay. So let us check if it is properly inserted or not, if these values are properly available or not, such that we can ensure that reading and writing is okay. Then we will start how to connect this type of things together, uh, like a chain. Okay, so we need to print. So real part, this should be. Tell me what is the variable here?
N dot real.
N dot real.
Real.
Okay, and this this actually when you start building this type of program, it requires some time, but when you have done it, then you can edit it very quickly and can understand it very quickly. Okay, so n dot real n dot IMN. I think hopefully this will print. So let us run it once again. That is the very basic part of what I am going to do. Is there any problem with this? Oh, P is not available. I think it should be N but P. P belongs to structure. Actually. Real part. It's asking for the real part. Let's say 12. Asking for the imaginary part. Let's say 20. And now it is. I think it is coming from the structure variable. Okay. Real part 12 and imaginary part 20. I think it's printing this line. Okay. N dot real, N dot imaginary. I think up to this it is okay. If you have any doubt, please ask question. Otherwise, I will move on to the next part of this application. In next part, it means that we need to constantly insert the values from the user, and when we repeat the same type of instruction for multiple times, we need what do we need? Please tell me.
Sir, can you repeat?
If I like to repeat same instruction or same type of instruction for multiple times, what do we need? What type of syntax do we need?
Sir, n will be an array.
Array is not about array. It's a loop. Actually, we require a loop when we repeat the same type of instruction multiple times. And what you are talking about, that is nothing but a same type of elements when we try to collect or when we use a collection of same type of elements, then we need array. Okay. So that is a different. These two are the different. So actually, my purpose is that to create this type of things for multiple times. Let's say I try to visualize that thing. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for some people. It should be like this. It is so. It should be like this. That means this will contain the address of this. This will contain the address of this. This will contain the address of this such that when we have the access to this node, like array, we can traverse to the next variable and we can go to the next variable. In this way, actually, we have the chain of this type of variable. Okay, I like to create. So I need to create two such type of variables initially, and I need to use the address here. Okay. So basic thing is that we need to create this variable first with the null, and next step is when we creating the next variable, we'll put the address of it into its pointer part. Okay. So let us try to execute. Okay. So I don't need to get it printed. So I need to repeat the instruction for multiple times. So this should be within a loop. Okay. Let's say I like to do it for 3 times for the time being. You can make it n also, no problem. Okay. But when we do this type of things, it will create 3 isolated variables. There is no such connection. So let us run that thing and check it, and then I will come back to the connection part. Okay. Real part, let's say it is 10, imaginary part 11, real part 20, imaginary part 21, real part 30, imaginary part 31. So actually, okay, I have removed the print statement, that's why it's not printing. So it's accepting these 3 things. Now, how to set them connected? How to set them connected? Any idea? Okay, without loop it is very easy. If I remove the loop, then what happens? Let's check it. Without loop it is easy, but it will be very very static. But still, first of all, do it without loop. Otherwise, we cannot think properly that what is going to happen. Now, we need 3 different variables. Let's say it is n1, n2, n3, n4. Okay. Now I am putting this n1. Here it should be n2, n2, and n3, n3, n3. But n2 should not be null. Okay. Here actually n2 should be n1 dot p. Oh, sorry, it is the ampersand n1. Is it?
Sir, N3, right?
No. N1, N2, and N3. These 3 are here. So N2 dot p. Okay, okay, that is some problem. N1 dot p should be ampersand N2.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So I should not write here because uh, here actually I cannot write, but later I can write n1 dot p equal to ampersand n2. Similarly, n2 dot p equal to ampersand n3. 3. Now since I had done it, so I am expecting that from N1 I can have the address of everything. Okay. So if I like to print, when we use the loop, then it will be something different. But I'm writing in the same line, real uh, percent d. Okay, it should not write in this way. Percent d plus a plus ib in this format. This is the first number. Okay, first complex number. Then what will be the second complex number? Because first number also contains the address of second complex number. So it should be N1 arrow P dot real. Let us check it. Uh, N1 dot IN. Actually, I am trying to access to N1. Okay. So let us check if it runs or not. Okay.
Sir, N1 is not a pointer.
Hmm. N1 is not a pointer. Okay, okay. N1 dot P, I think. N1 dot P is a pointer. Then N1 dot P in the second row arrow wheel. I think this should work. Uh, dot P, this should work. And let's say enter real part 10, imaginary part 11, real part 20, imaginary part 21, real part 30. I haven't printed the third one. So let us check if printing uh, I 11 20 plus I 21. It's running, working. So I think we can also print it, the third one, using N1 also. So how can I do this? We'll use only the N1, not the other nodes. Hmm. N1 arrow P, that means the second node, second variable, and if I write arrow p, then it indicates the second variable. Okay. Third, I think this should work. N1 dot p, arrow p. So 10, 11, 20, 21, 30, 31. Let us check it if it is okay or not. 10 plus I 11, 20 plus I 21, 30 plus I 31. I think I can access everything using N1. Okay. Now we have to think how to compact, how to make it within a loop such that it will continue. It's very static coding, that means only it is applicable for three. Let let us consider one problem. We have to sum up the polynomials. Okay, let's say x square is something, hmm, then 5 hmm, x. I'm not. I don't have the graphic tablet available like this. And similarly, you have x to the power 5 plus say 7x, let's say 8 by x, that means x to the power minus 1. So in this way, actually, you are going to sum up these polynomials. Maybe you need to store the component of this power and coefficient of x. So in this way, you have to prepare this type of chain of variables and then you use the logic for adding. But how can I make it generalized? That means within a loop such that if loop runs, it will create these variables and link together. So any idea how to do this? Okay, I think we are almost at the end of the class. Okay, think it later. Think later at your home. Maybe you can do this. And probably it will be the last class because almost your syllabus is completed. So I think I don't need to discuss anything more than that unless you have any doubt. Okay. If you have any doubt, please send email to your class representative or individually, whatever. Then I will try to send answer. Okay. So for that
Sir,
time,
hello, sir.
ha.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding a assignment from the computer science lab, sir.
Lab assignment. Actually, I am not right now in the charge of lab, but still, if you have a doubt, please tell me.
Yes, sir. Can I show sir the question? Sharing my
Okay,
screen.
okay, okay, okay. You like to present, and so, okay,
Yes, sir.
I'm stopping my presentation. So, okay, is it your assignment? Okay, uh, Which assignment? Number two. Which assignment? Please unmute and tell me which assignment.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Ah, yes, audible.
Yes, sir. Assignment number 9, sir. Question number 2.
Assignment number 9, question number 2. Okay, okay, let me check. Write a program to define a complex number using structure and allocate space for n plus 1 number of such complex number using dynamic memory allocation. Uh, where n is the input during runtime. Populate the allocated space for first n complex number. Uh, first n complex number with suitable values also they are summing a n plus 1 location. Actually, first part I think it's okay. You have to create a dynamic array. Each element is a structure, and the structure is nothing but a similar to the structure of complex number. That part is okay, I think.
Yes, sir.
But
I am able to do that part. Like, sir,
hmm,
I am uh, doing, sir, two for loops for taking the two real part and the
hmm,
imaginary part. Then,
hmm,
sir, I am stuck during the summation and put it in the n plus 2th location.
hmm.
Sir, what should I do for that
No,
part?
oh no, let me understand that statement is not clear. The second part is not very clear to me. Actually, its structure allocates space for n plus 1 number of such complex number in a dynamic array. Okay, that is okay. Mm, huh. Now populate the allocated space for first n numbers with suitable values. That is also okay. You can take it from the user and store their sum in n plus 1 location. N plus. Okay, okay. Then I think there is a space for additional one complex number which will
Yes, sir.
contain the uh, sum of all complex numbers. I think. So I think it's not very big issue. You can do this, no problem. What is the problem?
Sir, I am, sir, what I have thought, sir.
Hmm,
I am making a structure. In the structure, I am taking two pointers, pointer A, pointer B, for
hmm,
taking the real part and the imaginary part.
hmm,
Yes. I am also taking input from the user, like n, and making another pointer outside of the structure. In the pointer, I am taking calloc or malloc n plus 1 location for
hmm,
int.
hmm.
Then I am from the two pointers for real and imaginary part. I am taking two for loops, for one real part and for another imaginary part. Then, sir, after that, sir, what should I do for the sum?
Actually, what you are doing is not very clear to me. It's not a very that kind of complicated thing. You initially create the structure variable, and then you have to create n plus 1 number of such variables. Okay, array of structures using malloc. That is okay. I think I should demonstrate that thing. I have understood properly right now. So, okay, is it the only problem you are facing?
Yes, sir. This problem, actually, I
Okay,
was
okay,
doing this.
okay, 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 okay.
Sir, can I stop, sir?
Okay, stop sharing. I am trying to edit that code. Let us save it in different name. Uh, Structure dynamic array. Whatever. I need this structure, so I will not erase that part. But after that, I need to erase. So this part is not required because it's not a self-referential structure. I think this is the requirement of your program that there should be a structure having real and imaginary components. Okay, is it
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay? Okay. Okay. Now you are asked to create one dynamic array, and elements of array are nothing but the structure variables. Okay, so then write the syntax. We know this syntax that is equal to type proceed into structure pointer malloc. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Oh sorry, this is x. So I think this will create the array, but here actually requirement is not n, it is n plus 1. Okay. Okay. Any problem to understand this?
No, sir. This understood,
No.
sir.
Then we need to declare the corresponding variable like if this should be a structure pointer to struct text actually. P, and there should be one integer variable n. Okay, so I think it's okay. Hmm. Now we have to take n from user. uh, n. Let us write n. No problem. We will modify it later. Okay. Hmm. Now there should be one integer and real just for taking values. So let's say haven't taken the values. There are some garbage quantities. But what you need to do, there should be one pointer. P is pointing the first location of the array, first cell of the array. You need another pointer to traverse up to the n, and that n minus 1 record you will actually modify it. Okay. So you need another such type of pointer. Hmm. So have to traverse it up to n. So under that scenario, what do we need to do? We need one sum for real number and imaginary number. So is it okay? And this should be initialized to 0, otherwise we cannot calculate the sum. Now here actually we need to q equal to p, that means q will point the first location, and within this array we will increment q. But before that we have to write in this way that real sum equal to real sum plus what should be q arrow real. Is it okay? Check it. Are you available or not?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, imaginary sum we have to write so if you keep on doing this, I think C plus plus, what happens? I am expecting that initially q equal to 1, then after this loop q becomes, so after n, it is pointing to the n plus location. So here we will just write uh, q arrow real equal to real sum and q arrow IMA equal to IMA sum. Now when I am going to print, I will make the same loop once again, but this time I will make it n plus 1 in order to print all these things. Uh, it should be percent d percent d. What should be it should be okay.
Sir, there should be one I, na? A plus IB.
A plus IV. Okay, you can also like this. So let us run it. Oh, is there any this I haven't declared this. So I think there will be a declaration of this. Okay, let us run. I don't know it will execute or not. Oh, std lib
Sir,
dot h.
STDLIB, sir.
Std lib dot h is not declared. So just enlarge that thing. Enter n for the time being. I am taking 3. Okay. So I think it has accepted the garbage point. I need to take the input. I need to take the input.
Sir, sir, I had a doubt.
Okay, okay, let me take the input. It's not possible. I haven't done it actually because it is
Yes,
based
sir.
on some unpredictable value. So unless we take the input, it's not possible. Let me check it runs properly, then we'll clarify your doubt. Person, it should be Q arrow real. Okay, it's just taking input. That is some problem. Real part of the first, let's say 20, 10, 11, then 20, 21, then 30, 31. Let us check if the output is okay or not. I am not very strong at mathematics, so please calculate and check it.
Yes, sir.
So I think your lab assignment is over. Now you can tell me what is your doubt.
Sir, in dynamic memory, in malloc statement, uh,
Malloc state. Huh.
yes, sir. Instead of struct x asterisk, if we use int, what is the difference?
Actually, malloc returns a chunk of memory, but in order to point that thing, you need a pointer. So that kind of pointer actually represents the type of data structure or data type you are using, since it is not an integer type of thing. It's it's a derived data type. It's a collection of derived data type. So better you should not proceed by integer. Otherwise, when you increment your q or q, it will have some increment in integer increment. So it will increment 4 byte, 4 byte in this way. So that will not serve your purpose. If you like to move into the next part, if you like to move into the next cell, you need to have an increment that is equivalent to the unit of this one. Okay,
Okay,
that is
sir.
struct text unit. Then again you have to move struct text unit. In this way you have to reach up to the last element. Understood? But if you try to move as an integer, maybe you will not get the desired result. It will run, it will execute your program, but it will not provide you the desired result. So, any other doubt related to this program?
No, sir.
No. I think it was who has raised the question? I forgot the name.
Sir, I asked the question.
You asked the question. So, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay, I think it is understandable and you can also manage it at your level. No problem. Okay, so if everything is over and if you don't have any doubt, if you have any doubt, I can also, I'm ready to answer because probably it will be the last class. So if you have any doubt, please raise. Otherwise, you may leave. No problem.
So today is the last class.
Most probably, because everything is over, so I have also demonstrated everything practically. So why should I continue unless you have any doubt? If you have any doubt, please I will definitely continue. No problem. Just like if you have you faced any problem, such type of things or like that, you cannot understand what you are going to do. If you have such type of thing, please tell me. And if you don't have any doubt, you may leave. And still, if you feel that you have some doubt or you may write to me, then maybe if it is a problem for many people, we can arrange another class. Okay, no problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay.